So, how did life on Earth all begin? According to the early Earth video, life on Earth only appeared about 1 billion years ago, compared to the formation of Earth, which occurred about 5 billion years ago. Even so, were the first organisms heterotrophs or autotrophs? Were they virus-like or bacteria-like? And how did they form their cell organelles and their structures? So according to scientists, there were 4 main stages of early Earth that made life possible. These are abiotic synthesis of small organic molecules, the synthesis of polymers from these monomers, the formation of protobionts, and the beginnings of self-replicating molecules. Let's take a look at the first major stage of early Earth that made life possible. This was called abiotic synthesis of small organic molecules, meaning there were non-living factors in place that helped small organic molecules form. If you could remember the early conditions of atmosphere on the planet Earth, the conditions were extremely harsh. There was a great deal of lightning, UV radiation, different gaseous elements were available, such as hydrogen, methane, water, and ammonia. These molecules were available in the atmosphere, and then potentially due to these conditions, these molecules sort of recombined their elements to form the early organic molecules we still know of today: nucleic acids, amino acids, glucose, amino acids. I'm just making them different shapes. And perhaps, these non-living factors made these molecules form, just a recombination, like I said, of the basic elements. The idea that inorganic molecules could recombine under the right conditions, forming organic molecules, is sometimes referred to as the primordial soup hypothesis. So let's put that down. Sort of sounds primordial, like early Earth, and a soup, sort of like they were, gathered together in really hot conditions and mixed together. So that's the primordial soup hypothesis. The next question is, how do we know that there isn't another theory? We think that today, many scientists think that these small organic molecules, developed and became more complex in terms of polymers. Then these polymers formed early genetic material like RNA and ultimately DNA, and that ultimately early cells, protobionts, that contain these molecules formed with a membrane surrounding it. There were many experiments, and I guess they continue today, that have been carried out to mimic the early conditions on Earth to help us determine how amino acids and sugars and nucleotides came about. Many of these experiments, including 2 gentlemen, Miller and Urey, proved that these elements could combine, these elements back here could combine into amino acids, sugars, and nucleotides given the right conditions. Other scientists hypothesize that these organic molecules originated in perhaps volcanic vents of the deep sea, or that meteorites brought the first organic molecules to Earth. So in summary, it's important to remember that the early conditions on Earth were such that there were inorganic molecules, and that perhaps the climate provided the right conditions to exchange these elements in these inorganic molecules to make organic molecules.